Classical mechanics. Conservation of momentum remains an important physical principle to this day, but the long road to understanding it played an even more important role by introducing a new way of thinking about physics. Gone was the theological Aristotelian world of intrinsic natures, causes and effects, and motion requiring a mover. What replaced it was a world of patterns, the laws of physics. After some important contribution from people such as René Descartes and Galileo Galilei, the first full-blown system of physical law was introduced by Isaac Newton in 1687, the theory known as classical mechanics. Pedantic but important aside, modern physicists distinguish between classical mechanics, which is a broad framework, and Newtonian mechanics, which is one specific model within that framework. Classical mechanics says that the world is made of things with definite measurable value, obeying deterministic equation of motion. It stands in contrast with quantum mechanics. Newtonian mechanics adds specific ideas about absolute space and time. It stands in contrast with relativistic mechanics, which is classical but not Newtonian, and in which space and time become unified. Until we explicitly start talking about relativity, the equation we will introduce for things like energy and momentum will be Newtonian. Just to make things one step more complicated, there are theories such as Lagrangian mechanics and Hamiltonian mechanics, which are mathematically equivalent to Newtonian mechanics but feature different sets of words and concepts. Lagrangian and Hamiltonian mechanics are certainly classical. Whether you want to characterize them as Newtonian is a matter of taste. Classical mechanics is a theory of pattern rather than nature or cause or effect relations, because it doesn't ask what is the natural state of the system or what caused the system to move in that way. All it asks is what is the system doing at this particular moment. And from that, it makes a precise prediction for what the system will be doing at any other moment. The moment could even be in the past, not just the future. Looking back at equation 1.2, conservation of momentum for two particles, the implication works backward in time just as well as forward. If we know the total final momentum, we know it was the same at earlier times. This is an example of a different, much more grandiose conservation law, conservation of information. This principle was implicit in Newton's laws of classical mechanics, but it wasn't brought out into the limelight until the work of French mathematician Pierre-Simon Laplace around 1814. The state of a classical system at any one time is specified by the position and velocities of every part of the system. For example, all the planets in the solar system. The amount of information, Laplace pointed out, is preserved over time. From the state at any one moment, you can predict the state at any other moment, future or past, or at least you could if you had perfect knowledge of the information and arbitrarily accurate calculational abilities. Laplace imagined a vast intellect with such capabilities, but later commentators called this hypothetical being Laplace demon. The point of the Laplace demon, though experiment, is not that anyone could actually have such information and make such prediction in a practical sense, nor that we should aspire to do so. There is no way any realistic being could know the position and velocities of every atom in a grain of sand, much less in the universe. But the universe itself possesses that information, and the laws of classical mechanics predict that it is conserved over time.